Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. I'm Nathan Gobes, filling in for Jeffrey Davis this morning. We are here with another segment of the Kings of Cannabis show, which means I'm joined by Walter Sullivan. Welcome, Walter.
Welcome, Nathan. Am I here? I'm here. What side am I on? No.
You're over here with me, Walter.
Right,
We've been talking to many different people from throughout the cannabis space, some great entrepreneurs and people from various sectors of the industry. We're really interested in speaking to our next guest, Jordan Nollman, CEO and principal of Sprout Studios. Welcome, Jordan.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So, this is the true inventor.
Yeah, you've got some really interesting products here. You were giving us a quick mini demo before the show started, but why don't you tell our listeners about, our viewers and our listeners, and keeping in mind that the listeners on our podcast can't see the product here in front of us, but the viewers can on YouTube. So if you're listening on iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher right now, you might want to hop over to YouTube, subscribe to us there, and check out the video so you can see these great products in action. But Jordan, tell us what you got.
Cool. So I'll back up a little bit just to kind of tell the
Sure.
story.
Please
who
do.
I am,
Yeah, tell us how you got into
the
it.
validation, like why is this guy selling the products? So long story short, Sprout Studios is actually a design consultancy. We primarily do industrial design, physical products that we bring to market for clients like Staples, Seagate, Samsung, Honda. Like you
Very
name it.
interesting,
We kind of
yeah.
run the gamut with
Prestigious
some
brands.
pretty nice brands and great clients. This is Halo is the product I'm going to talk about today, and it's our first startup. So we have a thing called Sprout Labs, an internal incubator, and we've got a bunch of different companies we're going to be launching over the course of probably the next 2 or 3 years. This is the first one. We just actually got back from Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. We had over 1,500 people come to our booth and demo the product, and really, being, I guess, in the cannabis business, we also work for a lot of local dispensaries and kind of inventors in the product space as well, from vapes to, all sorts of packaging type stuff. I just saw the legalization in Massachusetts. I have young children. How do you determine, like, for the kids, it's my gummies versus your gummies? They don't know. They're just going to eat them.
Yeah.
How do you keep them safe? There's a lot of child-proof packaging, but a lot of it can be, with a relatively intelligent child, can get it pretty quick.
I think I was about 7 or 8 the first time I figured that out.
Yep.
So
What's your background?
My background is industrial design and graphic design. So really, what I like to say is actually creative problem solver is really kind of where
That
I
actually
am.
is true, especially with what we see.
Yeah, and I love the name of your show because, like, just in general, like, I've always been an entrepreneur. So, I started working young, like literally sophomore in college. I got my first internship. I think I incorporated in Massachusetts like 3 years after, a small design consultancy, and I've grown it to, a pretty big.
What other types of
30-person
things have you
company.
designed? You
Man.
mentioned the companies, but
Yeah, so I mean, for Honda, we've actually done software, kind of something in between like a project management software and like Pinterest for them internally. For Seagate, we're doing hard drives. That
you
can
do the
see.
gamut. I mean, really.
Yeah, I really run the gamut, and it's fun because this product actually incorporates kind of all of it because we have a physical product, we have an app with it, and I'd love to kind of give you guys a demo. Again, I'll try to walk through for you guys on the radio, kind of what we're actually doing here. But so we have an app, and what the product is really simple. So most cannabis is obviously stored in a mason jar. Maybe not all of it, but a lot of people do.
Sure. Certainly historically.
We did a bunch of research with just a mason jar, empty, went around, surveyed about 200 people. What do you put in here? 85% cannabis. It's a great way to seal it, keep it fresh, and it's a commodity product. You can get it anywhere. So all we've really done is designed a lock that's digital on one aspect of it. We have the app that locks and unlocks it. So I'll show this kind of right here. I've got 2 different jars. You can have as many as you want. One's got watches in it. One's got cannabis in it, or weed. So quickly I can it's locked currently. I can't open it. I can hit this button. You should have seen the light flash. And now you can open it.
Wow, pops right open.
And again, like our product design background, when we first did it, the thing would fly right off. We actually put a magnet on the inside of it. So the magnet's on. You can lock it back up. It's still unlocked. It will also let you know if after 30 seconds it's still open to lock it again. And you can also set a notification. So I'll lock this, and I'll basically, it's already got the notifications on, so you should see the light start kind of going.
Yep.
You can set it to beep, but then it'll also send a notification to your phone so that if you weren't, in a different part of the house or somewhere else, and let's say your children got it, you'd know somebody's moving my mason jar.
So it can even tell when somebody's been attempting to open it but unsuccessful?
Exactly.
Interesting.
Or someone moved it out of your
Any
cabinet.
motion whatsoever, you'll get.
Oh, wow.
let's see. Yeah, all of a sudden you've been triggered.
Oh,
Right?
you got
Oh,
the
that's interesting.
notification
So there's been
comes up on the
motion.
phone.
Well,
Wow.
Can you show it works? So if you don't unlock it, so to explain how the locking mechanism.
Yeah, so currently it's locked, so you actually can't get in. There's just a pin inside of it that's stopping it from locking. And then,
But because it's locked, why you can't open the jack? Explain why you can't.
oh, yeah, so you can turn all you want, right? And do whatever, but it still will not open all the way. Because there's a physical lock stopping it. So even when I unlock this, it doesn't pop open, right? So you could do this. It's now unlocked. You have to actually physically manually hit the second open button as kind of like a fail-safe.
Okay.
So if this is stored in your top shelf of your kitchen cabinet, if someone goes to move it, you get a signal?
You'll get a signal, exactly. And the other thing that's really good is like, let's just say, like, where is it? You can send out, it'll start beeping, right? And you'll say, oh, it's in the couch, or I left it in my
Where's
bag.
my weed? Where's my
So if
weed?
it's a real high night, it's like,
Yeah.
whoa.
So, in other regards, it doesn't just have to be cannabis. Like, we started it around cannabis. We've realized medication is going to be really big. We've had a lot of interest from pharmaceuticals
That is
and
true.
pharmacies themselves. Kids, like my kids, are actually keeping their own stuff away from each other with them. We also thought of a different product, which is the same thing, but a completely analog version. So it takes any mason jar. You can just use the sealed top. You spin down. It's like any medicine jar, basically. It will not open until you press and put pressure into it, and then it will just open up just like anything else.
So child lock for a mason jar.
So
Yeah,
it does
right.
almost three things. Some of them do three, some only do a couple.
Yeah.
That child-proof
Yep.
tells you where you want to find it,
Yep.
if you need to find it, or if someone goes to move it.
Yep, location and like kind of the ability to track, and then the third one is the locking and unlocking through either a digital solution, childproof solution. Yeah, and what's great is there's a whole gamut of different like ball jars or
yeah, you've
mason
got
jars,
several
right?
different
Whatever brand
sizes
you
here
pick.
before us.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can keep my white lightning in there.
Yeah, you can really. I mean, it's been crazy. We have people trying to say they're going to put cell phones to keep them away from their kids for certain times. You can
Oh, that's
set
funny.
a time code, right? So
Well, don't put the cell phone that's got the app, otherwise
Yeah, then you
you've
can't
locked your
open it.
keys in your car.
Now, this is designed for mason jars, but you could basically, anything that requires some type of opening, you could probably design it.
So we're doing like a whole bunch of licensing around that stuff, and we'll be doing licensing technology as well as doing different vessels for this. This is really, as an entrepreneur, we want to do an MVP, so it's still really expensive to tool this up and manufacture
Right.
it. But we'll start with kind of the smallest common denominator in terms of physical size, and then we're going to move into larger, vessels.
So who are you looking at right now for customers? Is this going to be B2C, or are you going to be selling to brands?
So
what do you think?
this is really actually fun. So we have a lot of experience in crowdfunding. We actually crowdfunded a bag a few years ago and raised $2 million in Indiegogo. Currently, we're figuring out which platform it's going to be on and should announce that within a month, but either Kickstarter or Indiegogo. So we're going to crowdfund this one, and really it's going to be anybody that's interested. So we're going to be doing a lot of like digital online marketing. Definitely, it's really tough to market towards cannabis, so we've got to kind of go to other audiences. We're
Yeah, I
not
know
gonna
there are
really-
restrictions involved, and
Yeah, we're not allowed to actually show any cannabis on our website. We're not allowed to put any in the advertising that we're putting out there. But luckily, there's a lot of other cool things that you want to keep, safe. And this is really about peace of mind at the end of the day. It's not so much that you couldn't break a mason jar. You can't have a plastic mason jar that won't break. But in general, it's really just about that peace of mind, knowing where it is, knowing if somebody's moving.
Well, and I think it takes it, the law requires you to develop packaging that's childproof.
Yep,
There's nothing that can't be broken into.
that is 100% true.
The interesting thing, but this does more than that. It provides the protection, the childproof protection, but it also gives the ability that, hey, if someone goes to move it,
Yeah.
I'll know.
It might be just keeping your roommate away from your stuff. It might be that like your spouse doesn't want you to keep eating the cookies. There's a whole bunch of funny scenarios.
I hate tying a drug to cannabis, but I'll do it anyways. Is that if you had OxyContin at home?
Yeah,
Correct.
opioids,
Yeah.
keeping
The
opioids
ability is
out
that
of the hands of other
is that
people,
you know for
potentially.
a fact that it's in a childproof container, and if your kid's been stealing or someone's been taking it, they can't move it.
No. Yeah, it's actually a really good way to kind of spy on them and figure out like, oh, all right, well, there is an issue here, and somebody is going in there once a day and taking something.
And it offers the ability, like, you have those tiles in case you lose your keys or anything.
Yep.
This does the same thing.
Yeah,
your stuff.
again, it's specific to cannabis. The other thing that we have is an app, so you can actually journal what's in there. You can give access. So, like, let's just say that we were roommates. I could give you guys access to my stash jar, so to speak. There's a couple other functions that we're going to do, and then what we really hope to do is actually connect with caregivers and have a whole like kind of FAQ section and ask a professional, so that as I think I would say the common weed user is getting more into it with recreational use, that they can actually say like, hey, I bought this strain of Northern Lights. It was too much. What do you recommend? Or I really liked it. Do you have something similar? Just another way, another forum for them to do it, kind of anonymously through the app.
And the idea is, it's you buy a mason jar or you buy whatever else, you can buy a childproof. You can still have this.
Oh yeah, and
It's reusable.
This is a childproof jar within this, just to give it that extra bit of security
Yeah.
and tracking, right? I mean, so.
But you're buying you're not buying the container. You're buying the locking
Yeah,
system.
it's only the top, the things that are black.
So
only
you
on
go
it.
buy a new you go buy a new container. You just put this on.
Exactly, and for this, we're not exactly sure the price because it's a lot of interesting things going on in China as well right now for pricing. But I mean, we're somewhere between $35 and $45. It's going to retail for the digital version. These are going to probably be $3 to $4 each. The
Oh, wow.
analog ones, and sell a $10 3-pack. So
That's
really
really reasonable.
affordable. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's twofold. I mean, it's childproof. I mean, that's a big issue, and that's what you see people worried about when a dispensary goes to open. Well, how do we protect our kids?
Yeah.
All this. Well, look, we're providing you the tools.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to buy the tools, fine. If you don't, but it's all in all, it's actually not that expensive, especially if you keep losing your weed.
Exactly. Yeah. And one of the other things I should point out about mason jars that's really nice is sustainability in general. So this is a common object that you already have. You don't have to get rid of it. You can continue using it. This is just an add-on.
And these are ball glasses.
Yep.
Famous
yeah.
company for making
Yeah.
mason jars.
Beautiful jars. They're, just amazing product, I think, in general.
Great. Want to remind everyone we've been speaking with Jordan Nollman, CEO and principal of Sprout Studios. Jordan, if somebody wants to get more information on the product, get involved, maybe if there's a way to sign up to be informed once the Kickstarter or Indiegogo starts, how could they get in touch with you guys?
So the website is varnatech.io. Any website, go on there, sign up for our email list, and you're going to get notified of anything that's happening with the company.
Great. And Varnatech, is that that's the specific?
It's the parent company. So the product's called Halo. The parent company is Varnatech.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Yeah, I want to thank you for coming on the show today. This has been another segment of Kings of Cannabis with Walter Sullivan. Thank you for joining me, Walter.
It's always a pleasure.
And of course, I want to thank our listeners for who have tuned in, and want to remind everyone to follow us on LinkedIn. We're really trying to grow that community there, and of course, subscribe to us on YouTube so that you can see all of the podcasts and interviews as they go live there. This has been Radio Entrepreneurs. We'll be back after these messages.